Hey everyone, Adam here. This is set number 2 from September 15th, 2024, against my good friend and league partner, Matt. This is 10 ball, race to 7. I'm giving him 3 games on the wire. And without further ado, let's get this show on the road here. We are again legging for break. If you haven't seen the set number 1, look for that video. That was 9 ball. And I am woefully under hitting these legs. This one's better. I'm trying to do the curling thing or wind or fan. That one was better, but still didn't hit that the way I really wanted to. We're playing the same rules that a local tournament at a place called Bonnie and Betty's in Lyons, Wisconsin runs. We're racking the 2 and the 3 in the corner. There are no early 10s at all. So those of you who saw my ghost video playing 10 ball, there are no early 10s allowed. If you make the 10 on the break, it spots, you keep shooting. If you need to make the 10 to keep a run going, you can, but then it gets spotted and you keep shooting from there. So you can make a combo with the 10, it just does not count as a win. Otherwise, I don't know if there's a 3 follow rule in effect. I don't think that comes into play. I'm trying to think of other rules. It's call shot, call pocket, so you have to call the ball on the pocket you're making it in, have to hit the lowest number ball on the table first. There is no slop. So let's say I was aiming the 1 ball and I missed and I made the 2 ball on accident and I left safe on the 1. Matt could make me shoot again. We'll see if we get into any instances like that. Here, I made the 1 in the corner and left myself kind of maybe not. I didn't really want to be behind the 4 as much as I am, but it looks like I can cue okay. I'm just going to play a stop shot here. Kind of drift towards the 3. I'd really like the cue ball to be about here for the 4, or anywhere in like this line, because then I can just float over for the 5. Unfortunately, I was on the wrong side of it, so I had to draw it back so I can come out 1 rail this way for the 5. Only thing here I have to watch out for is to not overhit it and be behind the 9. I know some players will play this 2 rails on purpose to come out and make sure that they don't hit the 9, or if they do, it gets out of the way. Instead, I hit it light enough to perfectly go behind the 9 and snooker myself. That is unfortunate. That's kind of how the day has been going for me. Although most of the issues in the 9 ball set were just misses. This is just a poorly played position. I should have done something different. Either make sure I come out 1 rail where I get nowhere near the 9, up here, or play into that second rail with more pace, so if I hit the 9, it gets out of the way. And then, of course, there is a chance I can hit the 9 full and leave it perfectly in front of the 5, but at least that way I'm taking care of things. Here, I don't even know what I'm doing. Did I call the 5 in the corner where my hand is? Yeah. I was trying to shoot the gap between the 10 and the 7. Having it come around this way and hit the 5. I put myself in that really bad spot there, and I probably deserve that, so there we are. I left Matt it looks like a pretty good out here. Looks like stop shot in the 5, stop shot in the 6, draw back a little bit on the 7, 8, 9, come back for the 10. We'll see if he does too much on this, because I think where the 5 is would be a good. He brought it all a little bit. That's probably fine. If anything, that's getting a little bit better angle on this. If he does have the angle, I like playing top on this and having the cue ball just come out 1 rail and back out. If he doesn't, I just play the stop shot, which it looks like, yeah, he looks like he's just playing the stop shot, cue ball out here or something like that. Yep, that works. Now from here, he just wants to draw it like anywhere in this area would be fine. Ideally, he could be straight in on the 8, but I wouldn't try to do too much on this. It looks like he's also going into the 10 a little bit. And if that's the case, he needs to pinch draw a little bit more. Yeah, the problem with that is going into the 10 and following it, you're never going to be online with the 8. So I like trying to force draw off the 10 and kind of bring it straight out table here. Here he can cut it in the side over here, or he can bank it over here. He could try to play a safe, send the 8-ball maybe here, 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 cue ball 1 rail behind the 10. It's kind of a tough position he got himself in. Yeah, he tried to, oh, worst case scenario, he tried to cut it in and scratched. I mean, I'm not going to complain because it's, you know, it's pool, but yeah, that was kind of a rough spot to be in. Here I can come just 1 rail and back down here. Little light on it, but that should be fine. In game 1, I am on the board 1-3 and breaking. For 10-ball breaks, I usually break right from the middle unless I can't make a ball, and then I kind of move it around from there. Here I'm kind of aiming to make those balls right behind the 1 go in, and both of them went in. Unfortunately, cue ball got a bad kiss and went right into that corner pocket. The issue on this rack is going to be the 1 to the 2. It looks like you'd want to be about here. Maybe that's a little straight. Maybe. You know, I don't want to put him too close to the 8, but basically he wants to be in a spot where he can make the 2 and have the cue ball come out somewhere. So maybe there, anywhere in here should be fine. You don't really want to be straight in. I think he's playing this down here and following it. I kind of like doing what he was doing first and doing the stun over. But if he can get good speed control on this, this is fine too. Problem with it is you got to go past the 8, and now he's stuck on the rail. Looks like he has enough where he can basically just follow it. The cue ball is going to hit the 10, the 10's going to come this way, and the cue ball should stay somewhere around here for the 3. 3 to the 5 isn't bad, so pretty much just make sure you have a shot in the 3, you should be good here. Use a 3 for a little bit of help. That's fine. Here he could try. What I like to do is do more of a center ball. You're cutting this in and just going straight across, because the 5 is pretty close to the pocket. You don't really have to worry about getting too close. If you start to go this way, like he was fine there, but you can hit the 10, you can be in problems. You can hit the 8, you can be in a problem. You can scratch on the side, you can be in a problem. It worked really well for him there, so I'm not going to say anything bad about it, but just a kind of personal preference thing. Now that one, I think I would have just played straight top and gone 1 rail and landed on the top cushion here. Because he's pretty straight on this. He's probably going to have to use a short cue. You can see the look of resignation on his face. He's still fine. I mean, he can just come out 1 rail and towards the 8. But he needs an angle on the 8 to be able to get back for the 9. That's why I like to be, if I'm on the rail right here, I can just play a real natural follow shot and have the cue ball come off and get much more of an angle naturally than trying to force it. Oh, actually he was able to do that. So yeah, that's pretty good. There's a couple different ways to do this. You can try to draw it above. I'm not sure if I like that as much as kind of stunning just straight across. I don't think you can follow it because I think the 10's right in the way. If you can follow it, that's the most natural path, just down here and over there, but I think the 10 ball is in the way for that. So he pretty much just wants to land anywhere in here. And when I circle that, it doesn't have to be that small of an area. He came out a little too far. He wanted that to be more of a stun and not a, well, more of a kill and not a follow into the rail or a force into the rail shot. This is tough. I don't think you can bank this cross side. I think the double kiss is on. Cutting it all the way down is dangerous. I might try to do the thing where you bank this 9-ball here, here, and up, and bring the cue ball down. You don't have to get a snooker on it. You can just get distance. Playing in the side looks like it could go. That's not an easy shot at all from this angle. We'll see what he does here. I think he's going to go for it and cut it all the way in the upper right. From what I remember, the problem with that is when you miss, you sell out the 9 80% of the time. And it's actually the closer you are to the pocket, the more chance you have to sell it out. Makes sense of that. If you're further away from the pocket, by missing it, the cue ball or the 9-ball tends to come off a rail and out. If you do this, it doesn't have enough speed to really do anything, and it sits right in front of the pocket for basically straight in the shot for me. Depends on where I am here. If I'm really straight on, I might just have to draw straight back. If I can cheat the pocket a little bit to this side, I can come back down this way, which is kind of, yeah, exactly what I did, except for I got a lot of it. Came all the way down and actually got too far to the point where I'm good on the side. Not exactly what I was intending. I was planning on being up around here and playing it for the lower left. But I made it work. Closing the gap here, it's 2-3. Last break worked so well, I'm going to do the exact same thing. So that 4 and the 6 ball are the 2 balls that tend to go in the middles, and the 4 went. Trying to get this brake pad out of the way before I hurt myself. The 5 and the 10 and the 6 and the 7 came together in a kind of a goofy way, but I think the bigger problem is there's no shot on this 1. I don't think I can hit anything of the 1 ball, or if I can, it's like a dead scratch because it's so thin. I don't really like pushing out here, so I'm going to call this 2 rails down into the right corner, but basically just going for a hit and trying to play safe. Which, yeah, I kind of didn't hit it anywhere near to be able to go in, but I got safe. And playing a safety from here for Matt is kind of goofy because of where the balls are sitting. If the 3 was like half a diamond out, you could try to play off here and kind of float under the 3, but it's really hard from this angle to get it to stick under the 3 because of how close it is to the side. Chances are what you'll do is you put the cue ball here and you put the 1 ball here, which isn't terrible, but it isn't really that snooker safety you're looking for. So I don't know what he was trying there. If he was trying to bank it past the 9 and leave it safe, or bank it underneath the 6-7, but it didn't really work. I'm in a weird spot here though because it's pretty straight. I think I can get to the side rail, but I don't know if I can come all the way back for the 2. Maybe a case where I'd look to just draw it back a little bit and then play safe on the 2. Which is kind of exactly what I did. I can bank it and really aim for the pocket, but then try to get the cue ball anywhere behind this where I'd still be able to see the 3 if I miss, or if I make the 2. Instead, I just went for the all-out safety. I wanted it to hit the 10 or get above the 10. 2 balls in a fine spot. I don't think Matt can bank it past behind him, but he can play it. He can play safe over here behind the 7. My nice angles. Kind of bank the 2 up this way. Cue ball here, here, and behind the 7. I think he called the bank back here. which I think that's exactly what he did. And unfortunately for him, the 5 was nice and helpful for me, and the 2 didn't get very far, so I have a straight-in shot here. Issue here is getting on the 3 in a spot where I can get back to the 5. I don't know what I'm doing. I think I'm trying to draw around the 9. Okay, I was trying to draw inside of the 9 ball. Instead of, trying to draw this way. Instead I hit the 9, made the 7, somehow got on the 3, but it's an ugly shot because I'm pretty straight. My next shot's going to be on the rail, probably. A little fly flying around or something that I grabbed, but I should just concentrate on making this here. Yeah, I'm basically on the rail. I'm a little bit off. Depending on the angle here, I can just play straight top. 5 is going in here. Cue ball comes here and out. I have to play that kind of light though. The other way to play it would be to jack up and draw it around, or I think that's really the only shot is to follow. Oh, and I followed past it. Oh, I think I was trying to play it down like here to play it in this side, and I got a hold of the 5 ball too much, and I played it for this corner. It can also go on the left side, but the corner was more natural position to the 9 ball. So just fire that in like it's no big deal. There's a number of different ways that I can play this. It all depends on how I feel at the time of how I really do it and what kind of angle I have. Sometimes I draw it. Sometimes I just play a stop shot. Sometimes I follow it 2 rails out. This one, when I drew it and I went too far, still have a shot, but I ideally would have wanted to be more straight in. And we are all tied up at 3. I have caught up to the spot. Again, we're playing to 7. And because that break worked so well before, we're just going to do the same thing again. 4 and the 7 are the balls that are looking to make in the sides. The 7 was going, and then it got kissed, and the 4 was not going. The 2 ball went in, though. In 10 ball, the 2 most common balls to go in on the break, and this is a lot of times when you're using template rack, it can be different when you're using triangle, are the 2 right behind the 1 ball, but the 2 corner balls can also go 4 rails around the table, similar to 8 ball, and go in those corners. Now here, I'd kind of want to go play this here, cue ball 2 rails out this way. Problem is, if you do that, you need to make the damn ball. Now, if I would have made the ball, I probably would have gotten the right angle to miss the 9 or miss the 8 ball and have a shot on the 3, but I didn't, and I missed the ball and left this. Now, if I would have made it and left the cue ball here, I'd still have defensive options. There's some really good safeties here, but for this, I think Matt has to go for it, but he has to play some upper left because he wants it to spin off this way and come down this way, as opposed to the regular angle, which will come back by him. Because if you do what he did, you get this. That 8 ball is now huge, where you really have this position window here to be okay in. Whereas if you play it over here, you have the entire side of the table that you can be on. Here, it depends on how much of this ball he can hit. If he can hit all of the 3 ball, I like playing it straight into the rail, playing the 3 up this way, and the cue ball just sits right here. If he has to go on the right side of the 3, then the cue ball kind of comes around this way. Maybe he can go maybe go there. All depends on the angles. Yeah, he had hit the other side of it. He had actually hit it a little too thick, but he got okay here. Like, I don't think I can make this 3. I don't know if I'm going to bank this just straight up and down the table. Leave the cue ball over here behind the 8th. I think that's what I tried. Instead, I hit a little too thin Didn't get behind the 8 and left the 3 way over on this side of the table instead of like right here where I really wanted it to be. A lot of double kiss implications on that shot because you're banking it kind of straight up and on the table, and it has to cross the path of the cue ball at least once, if not twice. So here, just straight top, a little bit inside just to check the angle, in which case left spin here. He hit it entirely too hard and almost snookered himself. I think he still has the 4. Now, if he can make this here and spin around the 6, he should be fine to come around for the 5. The problem here, of course, is the 7 is in a bad spot. There's no real good way to get the 7 out of there from any of the angles that I'm seeing for the 4, 5, or 6. You poked at it, you got real fast in the backswing to forcing transition and kind of stunned it to scratch. I think I went upstairs for some water, came back just in time. Now here I'm looking at what to do with the 7 and 9. What I really should have looked to do is maybe played safe earlier, because I think I'm looking at the angle of what if I play the 4 in the upper right and try to go into the 7 and 9. Yeah, it's exactly what I'm doing. The problem there is it's really easy to not get a shot on the 5 here. So I do not like this at all, because that can happen. I mean, anything like that. They can get behind the 9, I can get behind the 7. I think what I wanted to do is exactly that, but not have it go behind the 7, because I wanted to get the 9 out of there. Now I'm tree-topped over this whole table with the 7 ball and everything. I call the 5 down in the right corner by where I'm standing here. I don't know what happened. I must have hit it, and I got almost safe. Sorry, I do not have an alternate camera angle or a replay system where I can show a different angle. You'll have to trust me that I hit it. You'll have to trust Matt that he's not taking ball in hand, that I hit the 5 and got a rail. If you can cut this in with left spin, which would be inside, the cue ball is going to naturally go here, here, and kind of out. Maybe not at that extreme an angle. If you can't cut it in, I like playing the cue ball directly into the 5 with a stop shot and maybe a little bit of right spin. It'll send the 5 this way and out, and the cue ball will drift below here. It's a goofy angle in there. I mean, there's still some issues in this rack too. I don't know if he can spin it with a left spin. He might be looking to spin with a right spin to get around it, or just a center ball, maybe, it looks like. Yeah, he spun it with a little bit of right. I made it and just got the unfriendliest kiss in the world on the 9 ball. But like I said, there's still issues in this rack. Getting from the 7 to the 8, actually the 6 to the 7 to the 8 is not straightforward. If I was here on the 7, I could then go 1 rail out to here for the 8, and that looks pretty good. It does not look like the 6 goes past the 9 on the side here, so I don't know what I'm lining up here. Yeah, I don't know what I was looking at. I don't know what I'm looking at here either. Looking to draw this across. Oh, if I play it into the 9, then maybe I can get out. Not very keen on that, because now I have to do this weird stun draw, but I'm only going to be able to get it like here at the best angle on the 8 possible. Unless I draw the absolute bejesus out of it and come all the way back and leave that. I mean, that's one way to do it. Looking back, would I do that again if I had the chance? Absolutely not. Here I can't reach this. I don't think I can use the extension. I don't think I can get the bridge out of the way fast enough. So I'm going to just play safe here and try to thin off this and get 2 rails up behind the 9. Instead, the way I had to hit it thin killed off that second rail, and I think I left a shot here. If I didn't, he can do the same shot that we were talking about the other rack, where he plays the cue ball right into the 8. 8 comes up here, sends up table. Cue ball just slowly drifts behind the 10. It's really hard to get exactly behind the 10 there on a snooker, but you can get separation where it doesn't sell out. It doesn't sell out the game for sure. It looks like he had enough to cut it, so he actually went for it. And here I'm in a goofy spot because this does not go past the 9 in the upper right, and playing it in the upper left is like a dead scratch shot on this side. So I'm actually looking to play it in this side and then still come out for a shot on the 9. I'm using lower left to cut off the angle into the rail, and actually that worked really well. I wanted to avoid the natural scratch in this side, so I wanted to draw it off, and then it came out. Now here I don't have anything to do except for follow it. I don't want to go for playing this on the side and bring the cue ball down here. I just wasn't feeling it at that point from what I remember. So I just went, it was pretty straight in the corner. It didn't make any sense for me to try to play it on the side. So I just followed it down, got pretty good on the 10. And I take a 4-3 lead. And for the first time in any of these sets that we played, I have a lead. Now, granted, I'm spotting him 3 games in a race to 7, but still. So I got both side balls that time, almost the cue ball again. I got the 3 ball, which is the 4 railer, and I almost got the 2 ball, which is the 4 railer. I remember this shot. I wanted to do kind of a 2-way shot, but not really. What I wanted to do is I want to bank the 1 this way, and I want to play the cue ball up here behind the 5. What I realized after playing this, and you'll see what happens here, I think the only way to get behind the 5 would be if I hit the 1 hard enough to make the 2. Because watch, the cue ball is going directly towards where that 5 is. The 1 goes down here and doesn't make the 2. And I'm just kind of clearing the way for Matt there, so he has plenty of room, no obstacles. But yeah, I think I needed to hit that one much differently to spin 2 rails into the 5, or just go all out to try to make the 1-2 combo. Here he got okay in this ball. It doesn't really want to be with the 1 that close to the rail because now he has to cut it. And again, from a couple games ago, I would go back and forth. That's not the right angle. I would cut this in, have the cue ball go here, here, and back, instead of going this way. Because the 8 and the 10 are huge, the side pocket's huge. Now he hit the 8 and he got okay on the 4, but he's not great on the 4, and he has to work extra to get back on the 5. And I think it's little things like that that make runouts. You know, when I said Matt, I don't know if I said in this rack or this set or the last one, Matt's like 1 or 2 balls away from really having a breakthrough here. And I think it's things like that where you can be a little bit more precise on the leave. Don't take the risk of running into balls. Now he got really good on this, to where, like, if you were going to place ball in hand, that's about where you'd place it, because you can just come straight up here, play the 8 in the side. Now ideally you'd want to be about here, but you may have to come down below the 9 to play the 9 in the upper right corner. Almost want to come over here, here, and out. He got a little pokey at that and played top on it instead of just center ball, and that's why the ball is way up table. Yeah, Matt, if you look at the patterns here, it's really just like the leave from the 3 or from the 1 to the 4 it was got a little bit off, and then the leave from the 4 to the 5 got a little bit off, and the 5 to the 8 got a little bit off, and now you're getting closer to the end of the rack with fewer places to make mistakes. So here, like, really has to play this in the side and come 1 and up for the 9 in the lower right. Like that. I would have played a little bit more top so that it would have, I wouldn't have put side spin on it. I would have put a little bit more top so it cuts the angle down a little bit more and gets a little bit more straight on, because you can afford to be almost straight on to this 9 ball. Now he has to play a tough cut shot. I don't know what the point's going to do. The point could hold it up right here. It could spin it backwards. It could spin it straight out. It's hard to tell how much he really has. And it's really easy to get scared of the point and overcut this and have this 9 ball come down this way. Which is kind of exactly what happened. On those shots, I like to take center ball and kind of just hit them. Medium firm stroke, just to make sure that the ball, like if it misses, it'll bobble. I know there's a worry about the cue ball there, what it's going to do. It could hit the point, go on the side. There's a lot of things it can do, but yeah, that was a rough one because that's a really hard shot to control at that speed. Here, after I'm done chalking my fingers, I'm gonna take the 10 in the lower left, hopefully for a 5-3 lead. Almost missed a hit to the top side of the pocket. I didn't really have a pause before my backswing there. One of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to do at some point a video on my, what I call the shooting system, or my pre-shot routine, or that I've had multiple lessons with various pros that really kind of dialed in that for me. Now, I didn't mark my score here. Wonder if I'll remember to do it, or if it's going to stay as 4-3 here. Because it should be 5-3 right now. Matt, I might have given you a free game here. We'll have to see. So here it looks like the 2 goes past the 3, in between the 3 and 7 kind of field goal position there. Or if I can get around it, it goes the upper right. That's what I tried. Okay. This isn't bad, because I can use the 5 as a stopper here and basically just play a stop shot on the 2. 5 will move over a couple inches, hold for the 3 right there, and I'll get a good angle to get from the 3 to the 5. Yep, just like that. This is looking like a pretty runnable table here. We'll see if I do anything stupid or not. Holding you in suspense, I know. These are basically, I've gone over this in videos, what are we calling them? I call them like yo-yo drill shots. Niels Fine has a really good video on the yo-yo drill. Those on the yo-yo drill are frozen to the rail, but these are still the same kind of shot. You're shooting at an angle away from the ball, you're sending the cue ball into the rail and out. And it was essentially the 3, the 5, and now the 7 is going to be the same thing. And if I get right where I am or center table on the 8, it's the same thing there. Instead, I drew it straight up the table. I must have not had enough angle to get to the rail. The good news is the 10 ball is sitting right in front of the pocket. I don't have to do much to get on the 9. I'm just going to play this up for short position on the 9. If I can't get any closer to the 10, I have to shoot the 10 from way up there. That's fine. It does make it a little bit more missable, but it's not a... It's a better percentage than trying to go crazy and getting a better lead on this 9 ball. So it's all of our percentages. Let's say trying to do something crazy from the 8 to the 9 there would have been like a 40% shot, but just cinching it and going short position is a 90% shot. If I would have gotten better on the 9, I get to the 10 ball where I get maybe a 90% make, but instead now I get 85% make. And if you average all those percentages out, you just take the best route for what you're doing. I don't know why I drew that all the way up the table, but I did. Now, I think I did miss a game, and I think it's actually supposed to be 6-3 now. I'm supposed to be on the hill, but I missed one. We did not score it. I could be wrong. Anyone paying attention in the chat or in the comment section, let me know if I'm wrong or not. I lost the cue ball there big time. It went flying off to the other side, but I still made the side ball. I made another ball. Problem is the cue ball got kissed all the way down here, and I don't really have a shot in the one. I mean, do I have a shot on the one where it can go in the pocket in the upper right? Sure. But it's the farthest away you can be on this table. It's a tough cut. I'm on the rail. The sun's in my eyes. Wind is, standard excuses. I don't know what else to do here, though, so I think I just went for it. Or, I don't know what I did there. Whatever I did was not good because I missed and scratched. And this table layout is pretty good, too. It's basically those center ball drills. If you leave the ball at the center of the table, you come out one rail back to the center of the table, one rail back to the center of the table. I mean, not exactly because the 2 ball is pretty high up, but this works too. Only thing is you want to avoid getting over the 9 ball. I think he's okay. What he needs here is he needs an angle to get on the 3 so he can get maybe here on the 4 ball so he can draw one rail back to the 5. Yeah, he's bridging over the 9 ball. It's something that it's going to cause problems here because now he's probably going to go forward instead of drawing it. And right behind the 7. Yeah, problem is you got a big position window here. Anywhere on this side of the ball is fine. But as soon as you're bridging over the ball like the 9 here that he was, it takes a lot of your precision away. We're laughing at each other I'm kind of laughing at him, and I mean, this is something Matt's been working on. This is something everybody in pool works on. They have to, you don't want to hit balls, you don't want to leave yourself behind a ball. There's so many different things to think about. The thing I talked about the last game with the percentages at the end, like, do we go through all that stuff in our head? Sometimes it's just like, which is a higher percentage shot, this bank or this cut or whatever. You just take whichever one's the higher percentage. I think he's looking to kick bank this. He's going to kick into the 3, and he's going to, he called it over by the 5. So he's going to play cue ball here, 3 ball here. I mean, that's the goal. Obviously, he's not, none of us are good enough to be able to make that hit every time. The most important thing is to hit this ball, though. And he got the Z shot, but he forgot the 3 ball. Matt, again, you got a little pokey on that transition. He looked at the camera almost like he knew what I was going to say. So here, I want to be about here, somewhere in this area, so I can come one rail and back from the 4 to the 5. So I'm playing this with kind of straight top, and I just want to get around the 7. Well, actually, I played it 2 rails. I don't know if I like that, because I think playing it 1 rail, you're in the position window a lot longer. Playing it 2, you're out of position for all this time until you're in it. I think I like doing the 1 rail better. Although this is obviously fine. I had much more angle than it looked like, but I still like the 1 rail better, even though this worked. Note to myself if I ever watch this again in the future, which I'm sure I will. Yeah, here I just don't need to get straight on the 7. So I either needed to keep it on this side, or, if the pocket line is here, I just can't be straight on it. So this is fine. If the 9 goes past the 10, I'm just going to come up like here. Yep, just like that. So the 9 must go past the 10, because if it didn't, I wouldn't have shot that. But this is basically stop shot and stop shot. Or depending on the angle, I can roll it all the way down to the rail and not have a... Why did I do that? I don't know if I decelerated on that one again, or... no excuse for that, but it should be okay. Yeah. Still no excuse for leaving that 10 ball leave the way it was. So many different things to be able to do there. So now it is 7-3, although it's only 6-3 on the thing, so we're playing one more rack, at least. We'll see what happens. I actually don't know what the score was on this one. I'm narrating this on September 26th, and we played them on we played them on September 15th, 11 days ago. I don't know. I've been sick off and on for like 3 weeks with some crazy migraine headache stuff, and I think Matt's going to get some water, so I figure, I'll take a couple shots here while Matt goes. We know the camera's on. We trust each other. We're friends enough that we're not going to, neither of us are going to do anything on or off camera while the other person's upstairs or out of the room. That's just not what we're like. Problem is, I wanted to draw back for the 2 in the upper right. Instead, I really got a hold of that draw shot, and I drew it all the way down the table. And now I'm a little bit corner hooked on this too. I cannot make this in the upper right. I don't even think I can nick it enough to have it go towards the side. Oh, that's kind of an insane shot from here. So I'm calling it in the, I'm actually calling it in the side. So maybe I do have enough. And I'm basically just spinning around it to try to masse right into it. So I'm trying to spin around and have it like come right into here. Like that. And if I would have known I can get that much on it, I would have called it up in the upper corner and played it a little bit differently and probably missed it more. So I put fast forward on here. Matt's on his way back down. He's getting new water, probably taking a restroom break. And I told him what was going on. He's getting ready and blah, 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 blah. Now we're back to real speed. Figured instead of cutting that out, I would just play it fast forward like I do in between racks. So, there's no funny business going on. Matt, we got to work on your draw stroke. I don't know what I'm telling him. I'm telling him to do something else. But the only problem here, he can play this down here and draw back. The problem is it's really touchy. It's easy to underhit this and decelerate and have the cue ball just drift right into the 7 or the side pocket. Actually, if it hits the 7, it probably goes in the side pocket. It's easy to overhit this and have the cue ball come here and then just all over the place. But probably not exactly that path. It's almost a drag stroke where a lot of spin's coming off the ball before it hits a 3, but you still need enough spin to have it fire up table. Let's see what he does here. Yeah, he hit the 7 head on, which is kind of lucky because if he hit the 7 on the left side, it's going to scratch. But not lucky because of the fact that he has no shot here. What I like is one rail kick behind here, send the 4 ball this way and down, and hopefully hold the cue ball somewhere in here without all the extra lines on the table. This is a tough one to do. They call it a kick and stick. You need to hit the same angle going. You need to hit it straight on to have it come out. So actually the 4 ball would look like it's going to go down here more, because you need to hit that straight. As soon as you hit it off to the side, the cue ball is going to fly all over the place. It would still can get some good results. He cut it a little thin, but look at this result. Actually, he did that perfectly. That's about as good as you can get, because the cue ball floated a little bit towards the 5, and the 4 ball got safe. That was a great job, Matt. Now, I do not have a no jump cue rule at my house, but the pool hall that we play at does not allow jump shots, so we typically just don't worry about them. And I hit the 4 really good, and the cue ball is spinning really good. And I left the cue ball down table, so as far as a kick and hope, that was pretty good. Getting from the 4 to the 5 here is not easy. He either has to play it in the upper left and follow it up this way, or play it in the side and the cue ball is going to go straight towards that corner pocket up there, or into the 9 ball, depending on how much top he puts on it. He could play it here and draw this way, but bridging out of the pocket like that, that's a tough shot. Well, it turns out just playing it straight in the side and having to hit dead into the 9 was the best way to go, because that was perfect. That's about as perfect as you can get. Again, it's hard to see the angles from this view versus when you're actually on the table looking at the angles that you can see. They're slightly different, and some of them are slightly deceiving at times. That's fine. I might have even played that with inside. I love that shot. You know, inside spin around 2 rails and come down this way for the side. But what he did there was perfectly fine. The only issue here, I should say, he needs an angle to be able to get up to the 9. So he needs to almost follow this cue ball here and out to get that position on the 7. Because I don't think this is going to do it. I think you have to play, if he can get this with a ton of top left and have it just come this way, it's not an easy shot. The table is broken enough that it's not too slippery for that to happen. When I first got this cloth on, this is Simona 860 HR. When I first got new cloth on, and most of the time you get cloth on it right away, it will, if you try that shot, the cue ball will just go this way. It won't even grab, spin won't even grab, it'll just slide off. I think he can get enough, and he doesn't have to be way down here. He could be here and still be fine. And that's much easier to get to. That might even be straight top. He'd really like this to not stay on the rail, but it's going to stay on the rail. So in that one, obviously either lighter or harder. I like to hit it a little bit harder to have it go off that rail, but it looks like he put a lot on that ball. Although it doesn't look like he had a lot of top on it. It looks like he had a lot of left spin, but not a lot of top. But this is a cut and straight up and down the table. Unfortunately, he missed. Great leave on the 10. Bad leave for me on the 9. Now what I'm trying here is a shot that Mark Wilson and I worked on, which I don't even think is possible based on where the 10 is. I'm going to bank this 9 ball, over bank it, have it come down, and I'm calling it 3 rails on the side. Meanwhile, I'm playing the cue ball with lower right and having it come down 2 rails this way. Unfortunately, what happens here is I don't think I had the angle. I hit it way too high up on the rail. I wanted to hit down here so it could go around the 10. Or above the 10, but instead I hit it kind of up here. It's hard to overbank. Being funny with Matt there, putting the ball in front of it. It's hard to overbank. I mean, the natural bank kind of laid okay for that shot, but again, if you bank and you miss, you sell out almost every time. Now, granted, I did this and I missed and I sold out, but I had a chance to have good things happen here. I think he can just cut this in. Yep. Now again, he wants to be off the rail here. That's pretty good. A lot of people play that 2 rails where they'll come here, here, and there, but I think he had to do some check inside spin to make that happen. And at that point, you just play top and do what you did here, and that's fine. He got really, really pokey on that follow through, but it worked. He hit it straight, and it is now 6-4, not including the other game. If I lose this thing, I'm going to be really upset because I should have won already. He's just asking where I was breaking from, and it's basically between the first diamond and the middle diamond, and right on the head string. Yeah, Matt, it almost looked like you didn't follow through there. Like as soon as your Q-tip hit the cue ball, or as soon as it hit the cue ball, you like pulled back. That was very strange. But hopefully looking at these, you can figure something out. Now, what I want to do here, I kind of remember this shot. I want to bank the 1 up and down the table. I want to send the cue ball here and here. And I'll have the 2, 9, 10, maybe the 7, maybe even the 5, depending on where the 1 goes to block everything. Instead, I overhit the 1 and do that. Now, I'm certainly not complaining about this safety, but here's a problem with playing safeties is that, as Mark Wilson famously is quoted as saying, 20% of the time you get a hit, you get a backdoor safety. So let's say he's 60% chance to hit this ball, maybe even 70. It's a decent hit. It's open. 20% of that time he's going to get safe, and I'm not going to have a shot. As witnessed by example A here. Watch, follow the cue ball, and sunk. And now I'm in a really bad spot. I'm in a way worse spot than he was. I'm in a way worse spot than I was when I played the first safety. The idea of playing a safety is to get back to the table in a better spot that you were at. I have to try to cut this one rail into the one. The problem is the side pocket is right exactly where I need to hit it. So I'm trying to go before the side pocket and lengthen it out, and I just barely missed it. I think I should have gone this way with some draw and tried to go into it that way. And I just kind of laughed because I didn't hit anything. Like the cue ball went around this way and all the way through here without hitting anything at all, even though my lines look like it did. The only good thing is that there's no real shot on the two for you. To get from the one to the two here is not easy. If it goes here, that would be the easiest thing to do. Put the cue ball here, follow it kind of like that. Or even play it in the side and just have the cue ball follow it on an angle. Just set up the angle so you can play it right on the side. He's going with the first option. The 10 ball is kind of big here. You need to shoot the gap between the 10 and the 7. Or go past the 9 and get this. Now there's still not a great shot here, but you can defend yourself from here much easier. Like you could play 2 this way, cue ball this way. You could bank the 2 in between here, send the cue ball over here. Well, not exactly like that, but over here. A lot of different things you can do here. I think that's what he tried to do. But he clipped the 10 with the 2 ball. Otherwise, the 2 ball was looking like it was going to go. If it didn't hit the side, it could have gone here and up, and I at least gotten safe, if not a snooker. Here, I don't like the cut in the side. There's no cut in the corner, so I call the bank and just kind of hope. And I don't know why I didn't spend more time with this. Now, as it is, it's not sitting horribly, but I think I was just pointing out how far I missed the bank by. Like a diamond and a half. That wasn't even close. I should have, if you look at that, I didn't take much time at all on that. I just kind of got up and shot it. And was like, oh, I can't cut it. Got to bank it. Just go. Instead of looking to play safe or looking to do anything else. That was a good shot. Problem here is he's on the wrong side of the 3. So the cue ball is going to go flying after this. And there's really no pocket for the 4 unless you're over here, which there's almost no way to get there from here. So it looks like he might be going into the 8 off the 3. Or even worse, coming down into these, which has some scratch potential. He didn't really have a real big choice on the 2. He could have banked it and gotten a little bit better cue ball, but I mean, it makes the shot much harder. Yeah, so he clipped the 4 on the way out instead of the 8, and then he basically snookered himself behind the 10 ball here. That was, I mean, once you're going to take that cut in the side, and I don't know what else he could have done, you're at the mercy of what's going to happen. So no, Matt, you look frustrated here, but I don't know what you could have done to avoid that. Like, you didn't have a way to get on the 4 hitting it that hard, but you had to hit it that hard in order to make the 3 in the side. So there's really kind of a big negative expectation on that 3 ball. But again, the safety was probably just as hard, so you got to just weigh your percentages and figure out which is the best. I think you can actually see enough to cut this. The problem is, of course, getting on the 5 then is almost the same kind of issue. He overcut it. He did not scratch. I thought he was going to scratch on this, and he didn't leave me a shot. The spot helped him a lot. Rolled off the spot straight into the 10 ball as opposed to it was coming this way a little bit. Now I'm calling this in the side, but I'm playing safe the whole way. I want to come here, here, hit the 4, have the 4 go this way, and have the cue ball go this way. Unfortunately, I got too close to the corner and wrapped out and did not hit the 4 ball at all. But again, based on where the 5 ends up now, I didn't leave too terrible of a situation here. There's really no easy way to get from the 4 to the 5 here. So he almost has to just play for this 5-6 combo, and then there's chances that the 5 is going to get, if he makes it, because the 6 looks frozen to the rail, which makes that even harder. I'm clapping for joy or killing a spider, either one. They have gotten better, so previous videos they were all over the camera lens and stuff like that, but they have gotten better. I have no idea what we're talking about here. Spider-geddon, end of the world. Cats and dogs living together. Human sacrifice. So yeah, he just went and played for the combo. Now the problem here is the 5, you can lose the 5 really easily, and it's harder to make the 6 because the 6 is on the rail. If the 6 was even an 1/8 inch off the rail, there's so many different ways it can go in. But because it's not, and because it's frozen, there's a good chance the 5 could hit into it and make it, and then the 5 goes this way down to the rail. So he has to decide here, and I think we're just talking general position player or something. I think he has to slow roll this 5 into the 6, and hopefully the 5 just stays kind of right there, and the cue ball stays, up here somewhere. Apologies for the timeout. I don't have the sound in this video, so when I record this, we have music playing in the background, and I cut all that out because I don't want to get hit for copyright strikes. So we're talking about something. Maybe too much barbecue. It was good barbecue, though. Yeah, that was a tough... That 6 ball being frozen like that made that bank 100 times harder than it would have been. And it doesn't look like it is, but when you hit a ball on a rail, you have to hit the ball on the rail at the same time. You have to do the same thing with a combo. I'm just going to float this one down slowly like that. Now this shot, I didn't take any time on this. I wanted to go one rail in between these two, which was stupid. I should have tried to draw it or come above or here or something, but instead I hit the 7 on the way out. What I should have done is I should have done a draw shot and just kind of stunned it up the rail, have it come out here. So instead I just take the bank on. I'm going to lament my woes. Shoot this, probably don't take as much time as I should have on it, and hit it short. Left it in a place where Matt can cut it in the side with some kill draw and just kind of bring it over here. Might not be able to stop it there. He might have to go around. Yeah, I think in that space, what I like is playing that shot with a little bit of left and draw. So the cue ball comes off the 7 here, 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 and out. And that way you have a big position window. Even if it hits the 8, a lot of the times it's going to be fine. But you have a big position window to get around. It makes the shot a little bit harder, but he was pretty close to the 7 to be able to do that. You may also be able to do that without any side spin at all, depending on the angle you have. So he may have just been able to play middle ball on that and hit it harder and had to follow that path. Now he has to try to bank it back by where he is, I think. Oh, he cut it in. Hell of a shot. That was a great shot, man. I did not see that being possible. That was with a short cue and everything. Two ways to do this. Depending on how straight he is, you can take a stop shot, cut it down here. You can... I don't think he has enough angle to come off one rail and down. Yeah, he basically just had to take the stop shot. I'm gonna watch how much time he takes on this, because this is kind of a crucial shot. Fortunately, you overcut it just a hair. Matt, go back and watch that backstroke to force swing again. Backswing to force swing. I think it was a little rushed. And that is how I win the set. We had a score of 7-4. And there you have it. So set number 1 went the way of Matt. And if you haven't watched it, I'm sorry I just spoiled that for you. But set number 2 goes the way of me. I'm liking 10-ball more and more. It seems I played the Ghost in 10-ball and I won 7-2 or whatever it was. I won went undefeated 5 rounds in a 16-person 10-ball tournament the next weekend, and seem to be doing better at 10-ball overall than other games. Although the 8-ball season has started. Set number 3 is going to be 8-ball. It's going to be a little bit shorter set. Stay tuned for that. Until next time, hit subscribe and like and leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought. Any suggestions, more than welcome. I will straighten the table out at some point. I think I have one more video recorded where it's still a little bit crooked. But until next time, we'll see you later.